Hello, everyone. So I'm Jeremy, and I have something that has been called aphantasia. And for those that don't know, it's basically you don't see anything. When I sit there and I try to imagine something, I try to visualize something, it's just black. And I kind of process those things as, um, you know, concepts. Like I know what it is, but I don't see it. And this is just kind of how I thought it was for everybody. It wasn't until recently that I found out that people can actually close their eyes and picture something. Like that wasn't metaphorical. I always thought it was metaphorical, and it's not. Um, and like I'm a Christian, so when it talked about visions and stuff in the Bible, I was like, yeah, if people are saying things in their minds, that's got to be from God, right? Like that's just this whole kind of like crazy thing. I can't even imagine it. And then other people just seemed like it wasn't a big deal. Um, so, it was one of those weird kind of questions. And then I just kind of happened to stumble across this thing where it talked about, um, you know, weird facts that might blow your mind. Some people can't see in their mind's eye. I'm like, wait, some people can? Like, I'm on the lower end of things? Okay, what's going on here? And I started investigating it. Chances are, much like you and how you came across this video. Um, and for those that are just kind of finding out about things or curious about things, like, um, there's a ton of really, really great resources out there. And I've been looking up a few on how to see. And I'm going to be experimenting with that, and I will keep you updated in this little aphantasia blog. Um, and there's this one method. They say it takes about two or so weeks to start doing it, but I'm interested to see if I can start to visualize. So I'm going to invite you into this first session on what I will be doing. And before that, doing a little bit of an intro. So this is going to be a longer one. Um, the other videos after this are going to progress, and I might do like an like an end cap one. But yeah, so I don't remember like dreaming. I almost never dream. Uh, though when I was younger, I remember I used to have this one dream of a flaming skull, and it would give me nightmares and it terrorized me, and I'd wake up crying. And like this flaming skull or whatever when I was like 4 was just the scariest thing. Um, and then I also had another dream 2 weeks, and it was terrifying, where I dreamt about this one particular van with in great detail following me home from school as if it was actually following me. And I had it for 2 weeks, and then it's just stopped out of nowhere. It just stopped. And then exactly 2 weeks after it stopped, the exact same van that I had in my dream ended up following a couple of my brother's friends, neighbors that lived in the same building as us. And they knew about my dreams because I was keeping the whole family up because I would wake up in cold sweats and it'd be terrifying. And they all heard about whatever this was. So through that, you know, knowing about my dream, seeing how it followed them around, they were like, okay, you know what? Maybe we should just have an exit plan because he would always wake up like over here, and I always woke up in the same spot. So sure enough, when they reached that part of the walk home, the van stopped and the door opened. And because they'd already been thinking about ways out, at the second that the van stopped, they were getting ready to book it. The door flung open, and they ran inside of a hairdresser's that was hairdressing out of their house. They had that escape plan. The door closed, and the van took off. So I don't know what would have happened, but it sounds like could have protected them from getting kidnapped right off the street. Um, and then I had a couple other dreams. One, fighting off vampires and a few other things like that. I had a couple those are like the dreams I've had. And I've had like 3 or 4 other dreams. One of my favorite dreams that I've ever had. I was on a cruise ship, and there was this monster going around and just killing everything and everyone. And I ended up being one of the last people alive. And then finally it got me, and then it faded to black. And then credits started rolling, and then through the credits, me and the monster on the front of a roller coaster laughing. Like I was in the middle of my own horror movie, and I was never scared. It was just really entertaining. It was weird. And then I've had a few other dreams that stood out to me because I never dream. Um, like I might dream once every like 5 years now. I thought it was kind of something that you lost when you hit puberty, but I never really imagined things at will. I could never close my eyes and picture like a bowl of fruit. Like I found out 90% of the rest of the population likely can. Blew my mind. So I don't know if my dreams ended up traumatizing me, or what it was, but I don't have that skill, and I'm interested to see if I can develop it. So that's kind of my history with aphantasia, and yeah. So we are now at the 6 minute 30-second mark, and I'm going to start off with this. So um, to the method to do it is essentially kind of maybe close your eyes, focus on your forehead, and just start describing what you're thinking about, trying to picture something. And for about 10 to 20 minutes, that's the ballpark, that's the range. Try to visualize, and you have to actually verbalize it to help you say something to figure it out. So focusing on the forehead and trying to do these mental pictures, um, and essentially do it every day for at least 2 weeks before you start doing stuff. Um, and it sounds like it takes about 4 to really develop the skills, but you start to be able to see stuff 2 weeks in. So um, I'll invite you into the first session, and then don't worry, I'm not going to force you into any of the others, but I will do little update videos here and there, and especially if I start to have this side of my brain just kind of start working. I'm excited and I'm nervous. Um, and yeah, without further ado, um, let's let's try to do this. All right. So I'm closing my eyes, kind of thinking of my forehead, not thinking of my eyes for some reason. Um, and I'm picturing, or I'm thinking about one of my cats. His name is Joxer. He's a Seal Point Siamese. He's uh, purring a little bit as he's kind of walking um, around my feet, I guess. His fur is kind of shining in the light. He leaps up onto one of the tables, and he's now putting his claws into one of those scratchy things, um, and has jumped up into the basket. And he is kind of curling himself up, asking for pets. And that's just kind of like a memory of me petting my cat Joxer. I'm not really picturing it, and I keep on going more into my memory and not into my eyes. So or not into my forehead. So I'm concentrating on my forehead, concentrating on my forehead. Um let's go less complicated. Let's not focus on my cat. Let's not focus on my memory. Let's focus on a baseball bat. The baseball bat, I want to say, is wood. It's oh, got that thin little nub handle, and there's a little, let's say, a bit of a crack in it. a little notch in the nub at the end, and you go up, and there's this white tape wrapped around the handle that's um, a little bit dusty, a little bit dirty. Whoever's used it doesn't wash their hands a lot and kind of has that dirt all around it. And then it goes up into like the other part. And for some reason, that has turned into like a black aluminum style bat, and they're coexisting. And the transition happens somewhere in that tape that has those little ridges on it. Those ridges that are kind of all tangled in loose strings. So this bat has been constructed with a wooden bat and aluminum bat kind of taped together. Um, and the aluminum bat is cold to the touch. It's a black aluminum bat with some white writing. I can't think about what the writing is, but it's kind of in a circle, um, like a champion or something like that. And this baseball bat is sitting on an oversized baseball home plate that is white and is looking very nice, even though this bat's there. Uh, I had it laying down, but now I'm going to put that back up on the wall like it's a display. Why is it on display? I don't know, but the wall that it is on display on is green brick. This green brick baseball diamond or baseball home plate with a bat on it encased in glass in a glass frame with some black metalwork that's holding the glass into place. um, we're in the middle of an art gallery. This art gallery has a lot of people just kind of going all about, um, but they're kind of ghostly whispers, leaving trails behind as they just kind of blend in and are secondary to the works of art that are all over the place. Um, and with these works of art, there are a few others, but they just start to kind of melt away as there is this little kid in the corner. And they're crying. They're kind of in rags. They're not an exhibit. That would be a really twisted exhibit. But they're in rags and they're crying. And go up to them, ask them if they're okay as they look up in tears, asking for help. Um, and um, we end up getting one of the people that work there, flag them over, and they're dressed in kind of a red bellhop uniform with some gold trim around the breast pocket and an insignia that kind of looks like a Scottish flag. Not a Scottish flag, but like one of those like Scottish family crests. Um, and he stands up and he holds the little boy's hand, and they walk away to safety. And he's going to get the help that he needs to find his parents. And now I am lost in this thing. Ooh, okay. Um, Visualization kind of changing about. I am actually visualizing this purple dot and green um, around the dot that is pulsating. This is one of the other things that they say to do if you actually end up getting anything, to focus on the shape if it starts going. So there's this conscious word just screaming like, so that's what I was doing before. I was just saying words as we were going through and trying to do word pictures. But now I'm seeing this dot, and it's to focus on the dot and try to actually understand the dot. Whoa, okay. Um, the blackness has given way to this purple dot with this greenish thing, and it's kind of going woof, 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 but slower, more. and on the outside of the green is, and on the inside is purple. Then when it meets in the middle, every once in a while, it just turns black, and the green becomes black in the center as the purple is going over and over and over again. Um, I'm just focusing on it. These are two different methods now kind of combining. The word stream, I don't know how well that was working because I was thinking more about how to describe things rather than trying to picture them. But I've been trying to picture things for a while, ever since I found out that I had aphantasia. Okay, the colors have gotten a lot lighter as I moved, and that has to do with the light in the room. As I look up, there's no more purple. As I look down, and my hat covers my eyes, it's back. Why is it purple? I don't know. Hmm. Just kind of following it around with my eyes when it decides to move, when it stops pulsating. It's interesting. Um, hmm. All right, I'm gonna go back to the words now. Yeah, we've been here for about 9 minutes, so we'll do a little bit more of this word streaming stuff and see if I can visualize it. So, um, focusing on my forehead. I don't even know what to try to think about. I'm gonna think about a shoe. Size 16 New Balance shoe. Baby blue with some yellow laces. Um, White uh, sole frame with the baby blue and the blues on the sole in a honeycomb pattern on the bottom of the sole that connects with the ground, and it's mid step as it's on a runner's foot, but that runner's foot is going in slow motion, kicking up dirt as then the camera swings around the dirt and follows a piece of dirt as it comes up off the bottom of the shoe into the air and then lands on the ground, and the camera swings back around, revealing not the foot but a tire of a high speed sports car just doing a burnout in some dirt as then it launches forward and the camera quickly follows, dodging in and out of winding roads and trees. We got music starting to play as the camera then comes in to the car through the back window to a faceless driver who's holding onto gloves that is turning the wheel, and we get to kind of see it from his eyes as the road is winding, and we go past the wheel and into the forest where we see a little fox, and that fox is covered in snow. The fox has a bushy tail, um, and is kind of just sitting there staring at the car as the car, drives off into the distance. We're there with the fox. The fox ends up digging a little bit into the snow, and the snow is kind of flying up all around as it pokes its head in and then pokes back out and then stares at the camera. And we're just in the forest, and the trees are now breezing as we look up towards the top of the trees, and they're starting to um, bellow back and forth as the wind caresses the top of the branches. Um, and on one of the branches, a little bird lands. The bird starts to tweet um, as it has brought a worm to feed its young, and it begins to feed this worm to the young. And on this nest, nestled up in the corner of a tree branch and the tree trunk. And if we follow the branch out, it's got a bunch of leaves, and on the leaves there is one caterpillar who is munching down on that leaf. The caterpillar is green, and it's got all the little legs and the teeth, and it's eating because it's a hungry little caterpillar with some red lines and stuff like that, and some dots. Um, yeah. Uh, and then we look into the clouds and come back down. We're on a beach, and the beach is a nice, warm, sandy beach. Uh, the waves are coming in softly, and it's this like almost white sand beach. Um, and the sun, it's bright and it's beating down and it's warming. Such a contrast to the snow surrounding the fox, but now it's an open air, um, uh, yeah, beach. There's footprints all over the sand, but there's no one else on this beach right now. And on either side of the beachfront are um, trees and almost forest. So this is like this little alcove, this personal little forested beach oasis with this pristine sand and mountain blue water. Mm, maybe this is in BC, even though it's warm. It's middle of summer. Um, yeah. Um, I've now run out of things that I can think of. The streaming consciousness to visualize has now kind of run its course for the day. And I talked for about 6-7 minutes beforehand, so we're in that gap um, from the 10 to 20 minutes. Like I said, this is a new experience for me. I'm going to try it for 2 weeks. Um, no idea how it's going to go. No idea if I'm doing it right. Um, my brain is feeling a little bit fatigued though at the moment. Weirdly, um, that was enough. That was enough for me right now to actually say the words and try to think about where I was going. It was weird. I'm feeling it kind of actually on my forehead, which is also a little odd. Um, but yeah, that's my first time doing one of those sessions. So, like I said, I'll try to do it again for the next 2 weeks with the odd little pop in here and there to let you know if I ever regain the ability to see. Um, so, yeah, thank you very much for joining me out at this part and stage of the journey. And yeah, if you want me to just do a few more things as this is going on to help you do that, or to help me, if you have some tips and tricks or whatever, let me know. Um, but yeah, it is, what is the day? It's March 14th. So by the end of the month, I might be able to close my eyes and see something. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. And yeah, goodbye. I'll see you next time.